Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Campfire Storytelling. This is a story from not that long ago, when I was sitting around a campfire with some people close to me. It was quite dark and sort of cold outside, but the campfire made it very cozy. It was one of those times where we sort of playfully decided to share stories. They didn't need to be spooky or scary, although generally we all chose stories that were at least on the strange side of the spectrum. It was such a nice atmosphere. The crackling of the fire, the flames slowly dancing around the wood, the warm glow in the center, the sharp contrast with the cool air, the cozy atmosphere and the warm friendship, shadows from the flames jumping back and forth as the flames themselves moved. It was so nice to let yourself bathe in that warmth, just absorbing it and knowing that you could sit there forever. While I was listening and almost zoning out, just enjoying the moment, I didn't realize that it was my time to tell a story. There are a lot of stories I could have chosen, but the whole situation, the atmosphere, almost immediately led me to tell an old story about a house. So as I began to tell the story, everyone listened and just enjoyed. Down a street not that far from where I lived, there was an old creaky house. When I think back to it, it almost seemed typical to have it there, as if plucked from one of those horror movies, or at least something dramatic. It looked to be in disrepair, and the outside was maybe even nicer than the inside. It was a place where you dare each other to go, to spend a minute there and, well, get out again safely, of course. I really enjoy exploring old buildings and ruins like that. So of course I couldn't exist exploring. It was easy enough to get inside. The front door was barred, but that was about it. Too many of the windows had long since broken, and if I really wanted to, the back door was missing. So inside I went, exploring this old building. Fortunately for me, it was perfectly safe to do so. It was abandoned, but fine otherwise. There wasn't much left, almost no furniture. The doors were usually standing open, the wood having seen better days. There was some proof in some of the rooms what their purpose had been. Either the walls or the floors told an easy story of their purpose. But it was downstairs in the basement where I found something special. Even during the day, the basement was dark, so not many people went down there. I was lucky I'd brought a light with me, one of those that you had to squeeze to activate. It had a battery, but you could charge it up yourself. And then, when I went down there, I noticed that not many people had been here at all. The dust on the ground had laid undisturbed for quite a while. So I felt like an explorer, just finding this place that nobody had seen for years. I looked around, trying to find anything that, well, was hidden or special, or what was that? In the corner of my eye, I thought I saw something move, and it was quite tall, almost human-like. Continuing to search, I put it out of my mind, even the strange sounds that happened every now and then. I let be. Again, I saw something move, lifting something from a corner. I went over there and looked, and I found something. Underneath some wood, there was a book. It looked like a diary. Using my tiny but functional light, I began to read. Yesterday, I was told that the botanist in town has a golden lily. It sounds so interesting. I've always wanted to see one. Apparently, the leaves are just so pretty and vivid, and if you hold it, you could speak your wish and it'll come true. I don't know if that would actually happen, but still, it's nice to try out new things sometimes. It's kind of weird to write this down now before I've even seen it, but I'm excited to go there. A few days later, nobody is allowed to visit the botanist without being invited, apparently. The old gardener cares so much about their plants and their stories. Some of the other kids say that, well, the plants are magical or dangerous. I don't really care, I'm just curious. I've always been fascinated by them, by how beautiful plants can get, how frail and yet growing in the most fantastical of places. There's even one that just grows on top of mountains and is such a brilliant white. I decided to approach the botanist and ask him if I could watch. They asked me a lot of questions about plants and what I enjoy about them. Maybe they were trying to catch me out on a lie. But I hope I impressed them. They told me that tomorrow I'm allowed to visit the garden. I'm very excited. Oh, I got to watch. It was so beautiful. The whole garden was incredible. The the patience it must have taken to have all those plants grow so beautifully. The colors and the scents, it was amazing. And yes, they let me hold the flower for a moment. They had the golden lily. It was so pretty. Of course, I didn't take it. I didn't want to break anything, but I still got to speak my wish quietly. It's so beautiful. I just want to share this feeling with everyone. It makes me so warm right now to be here, so nice and comfortable. I just want to share this with the people around me. It would be so nice. The book was quite dusty, and it took me a while to get through all of this. But I decided to keep it. It was too great a treasure to hide away once again. I did have the feeling that every time that I read it, I heard a soft voice, the feeling of someone looking over my shoulder. And yet, it wasn't disapproving in any way. It's sort of curious, as if they wanted me to continue their story. You know, now that I've been talking so long and telling you all about what I found, I almost didn't notice that the flames had faded almost down to nothing. I should really put on a few more logs so that we can enjoy the fire for a while longer. Or perhaps you just like to drift off for a moment. It's quite all right either way. Who knows what kind of dreams get inspired by stories, or what kind of inspiration it brings. I know I will enjoy the fire for a while longer, and for you, it is time to wake and enjoy.